Hey everybody, good morning. Good morning, y'all. It's Blessed Driver here. Getting this day off started. It's kind of early. It's like 8 something. So anyway, all right. So this morning, I got my email, and I'm sure that you guys get an email every morning, every Monday morning with your follow up from the week as far as what your your metrics were, your speed and things like that. So when I looked at the email, it was showing me that I was like number 26 out of like 60 something shoppers, and that was kind of not too great. And usually like I'm like in the top 20 as far as shoppers, and like with speed and everything, and it's whatever. And the reason why it was kind of low was because I had some deli items. Actually, I had a lot of customers who ordered deli items, and of course I order my deli items early, and through the app, through the grocery store's app. And long story short, they took forever, and like they didn't make them right away, and so I had to wait for like 5 or 10 minutes. So that really messed up my metrics, but it's whatever. I tried my best. So when I looked at the bottom of the email, it showed out of so-and-so shoppers. I'm like 60 something shoppers, and I'm like, wow, like I had no idea that Instacart even hired more shoppers in my zone, because the last time I checked last week, I think we had like maybe, I want to say between 45 and maybe 60. No, not 60. It was low. It was like between 40, maybe like 45 or 47 or 50. And then I noticed that now it's up to like 65, 67 shoppers. And so what made me realize they've hired way too many people is that on Saturday, I only worked like a few hours. Like I scheduled my stuff from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. And even working the 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. shift, I'm able to actually make some good money, especially in the zone that I'm in. And so like sometimes when I work that shift, I maybe make $60, maybe 100, depending on the size of the orders and how many people that I shop for. And then I'm like, wow, they hired that many people. And so they gave me one batch, which was a regular customer that I delivered to. And after that, I didn't get anything for a while, right? And so about 9:37, 9:34, Instacart has sent me a message on my app, with a little turtle. And of course, you guys know once you get a turtle, they'll ask you to, would you like to end your shift early? Now keep in mind, it was only like 9:30. My shift wasn't over until 1 o'clock. So I'm like 3 hours. Like, why would they, And so I had said no. Now some people just ignore it, but I didn't think about that at the time. And so I'm thinking, wow, like why end my shift all these hours early? Because like they've never done that on a Saturday to me before. And so, and usually when you get the turtle, it'll say, we have more shoppers, and it's slower than what it is. And really, you guys, sometimes when you guys get the turtle, it's not always that it's slow. Is that they have too many shoppers. That's the problem. And so it depends on how many customers are ordering, because usually like lately, like when I've been shopping for people, it's usually like people that are new. Like I've been getting a lot of new customers, and so that's great. So basically it lets me know that Instacart is making more business, which means more money for us. But I was like, oh my gosh. So they sent me that turtle like hours before my shift was over. Why would they do that? And then, so about an hour or two later, like around 11:30, 11:15 or so, they sent me a batch. Now keep in mind, like I haven't had a batch in like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and they sent me a batch for one item at a grocery store. I was like, you have got to be kidding me! One item at the grocery store. And you know what? I didn't even take it. I was like, whatever. Now, I didn't even get a reliability because they actually asked me to end my shift early anyway. But it's just the principle of the matter. And I did eventually try to get back on shift, but I guess they ended my hours. And that's how I know something is wrong, because anytime you don't acknowledge a batch, like if you don't acknowledge a batch, then you'll get a reliability. But once you get back on shift, then the reliability incident will go away. But this time I noticed that even though I tried to get back on shift and I had like plenty of time to get back on, they didn't allow me to get back on, which basically, and like that never happens. Like that never happens with any Instacart shopper. So that basically meant they had too many shoppers. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so that made me realize that, depending on your zone, like I know some states that are just always busy, like San Francisco. from what I've been told from shoppers that live there, they're always busy. Certain areas in California are just busy. Certain areas in New York are busy. Like certain areas in DC, are busy. But it depends on how many people are ordering. It depends on a lot of stuff. And so, guys, like I just feel like, with grocery delivery, it's kind of hit or miss. And so not everybody's going to order groceries. Like not everybody is going to, use our services, because we also have like Shipt. And Shipt is another competitor. So it's kind of like people are also using them. And I've spoken with customers, like they told me like this out the blue, hey, I love your service. Like this is great. It's my first time using it. But I also use Shipt. I'm like, okay, cool. It's awesome. And I don't make a big deal about it because I don't care, because that's like none of my business. And so, yeah, y'all. So if you ever notice, like there may be times where it is slow because of a holiday or like whatever the case may be, it could be that. But pay attention to on a Monday. On Mondays, when you get your report back on like your speed and everything, look at the bottom and look and see how many shoppers were there like on board. I guarantee you have more shoppers than you did last week, and I see that they've hired more people. Like it could be that people got their hourly guarantee, their early access back. But no, I'm like, wow, we have almost 70 shoppers now in my zone. So that means that it was slow because they basically gave them all the extra hours. And so by them giving me one batch that had one item, that let me know that they're giving these new people, all of our batches. And so it's like, whatever. So anyway, guys, yeah, y'all, I just, I think that's not right. And, and of course, as I was stating in my title that, I'm a filmmaker, and so I haven't did a film in quite a few years. And the last film I did, actually I did two, and I have a lot of people that were waiting on it. And you guys, I had a distribution deal, like a really good distribution deal from a film that I was working on, and they were interested in it, and actually two of my projects. But I got so distracted with life. I had so many things that was going on in my life. It was just crazy. And like last month they sent me a letter in the mail saying that they're going to end my contract with them, because I had the deal for a couple years, but I never sent them any films. And they ended my contract because I never sent them anything, because I was just busy doing other stuff, just caught up with life. And also at that time, I was heavily involved in ministry, and I was a deaconess in my church, and I was just so busy, and I was leading classes. I mean, I was doing a lot. But even though I was doing it all for the Lord, at the same time, I was just totally neglecting my passion. And my son will always say, Mom, what's going on with your films? Like, there are people that are waiting on your films. You need to edit them. And what happened was I had some problems with some software. I had an issue with like my laptop, and I was trying to edit the sound, and basically something happened with the sound. And so I kind of gave up on it, and I didn't understand. I basically wasn't understanding how to fix this part of the sound and the software that I was using to edit my film. And so I kept messing with it, and then my laptop kept crashing. And so I was just like, I'm so done. And then one of the films that I did that I worked so hard on, I actually lost the file. Yeah, oh my God, I had the SD card, and some way or another, when I was out doing photography projects and doing jobs and stuff with clients, some kind of way I lost the SD card. So all of the work that those actors put into it, it's just, it's crazy. Somebody said subway locations, no territorial boundaries. Instacart can saturate the market or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, guys. I just I just kind of feel like I'm not really at my potential, because even when I go to bed and when I wake up and I'm thinking about making another film, and I have that one film that I should have done actually I finished it in 2013. It's 2017 now, and I kept having problems with my laptop and then with the sound, and now I know how to fix the sound, because it's just one little simple thing I have to do. Go on the software and just click this button, and that's it. And so, I don't know, y'all. And with Instacart, it's kind of like a drug. Me and a friend, me and another shopper were talking about this the other day on the phone. She's like, you know what, Instacart can hook you. You can get so busy and caught up in making all this money, or just trying to, make sure that you have hours that you actually forget your goals and your dreams. And I know this isn't for everybody, but it's just like, you're on it all the time. It's just so distracting. And like I said, I'm grateful for what I do, but I have goals, like I have passions, like I have dreams, and I just kind of feel like I'm just letting that go. And for me in this season, I am learning to do stuff just for me, because I did that for like 7 years. Like for 7 years, like I was heavily involved in church. Like I'm talking about, like, I'm telling y'all, for like 10 or 11 years, like you guys would never not see me in church. Like, I mean, I never hardly missed any services at all. And then it got to the point where like I was doing so much for other people, and just, serving in there and just, just doing stuff. And I just kind of like just let myself go, in a way, and just try to do stuff for other people. And even doing this with Instacart, like I love it, but at the same time, I know this is not going to be like my always. This isn't going to be my forever. And especially for us that do this full time, like I hate to say that we need it, but this is kind of a requirement in order to be able to, to take care of our bills, to get things situated at home and stuff like that. And but I just, and then it's like when I see them doing stuff like this, like, oh, they're hiring more people, it's kind of like, why? It's like they're hiring more people for what? Like, there's really no reason to do that. And it makes me angry when they say that, that, it's slow in the area, they have more shoppers. So why do you guys even have more shoppers? Like, I know that they anticipate some days to be more busy, but honestly, like, I think that people who've been on the platform longer should be able to get first dibs on badges. That's just me. But they're trying to impress the new people to keep them aboard, to just to keep them, open to be able to, to work more. And that's not right. And so it's kind of like, seniority. I think people who've been on the app longer and been working for Instacart longer should always be able to, to get seniority and first priority and badges. And to me, I just think that is so unfair. But now it just makes me realize on some of the things that I need to do as far as outside of Instacart, some of the goals that I need to work on. I mean, I have books that I haven't finished writing. I mean, there's so many things that I want to do, but I just kind of feel like, and like, I'm not complaining, I just kind of feel like I'm not putting my all into other things. And then there's times where when I do have days off from Instacart or whatever, like I just want to rest because I'm so tired. And it's not like it's, the weather out here in Florida is nice, it's decent, but it's hot. And now like we have like that humid heat, and that humid heat is so sticky. It's like, it's awful. And by the time you get off your shift, because think about it, we're shopping, we're going back out in the heat and putting the groceries in, we're going to the customer's house, we're getting out in that heat. And sometimes we have to deliver upstairs and stuff like that. I mean, it's a lot. And by the time I get home, I'm drained. Like, and like when I have a day off, like I savor that. Like, I mean, I really, like, I don't take it lightly when I have a day off. I make sure that I take my time and I'm resting. Like Saturday, when like my shift was over, like I only had like one batch, which was ridiculous. I took that time and rested the rest of the evening. And I never missed a Sunday for church, but lately for like the past 2 weeks, I just been resting. And so yesterday I didn't even go, like I rested all day. And I don't want this job to take so much out of me to where I'm not enjoying myself and to where I'm not having fun, and I just feel like, it's just so much going on with this company, and they're not even giving us any incentives for it. Like they're not even, just appreciating what we do. And every once in a while, we may get, shopper bumps or whatever, but that's nothing. Like, and the only time that we do get bonuses is like if we refer people. And I have like hundreds of people that have signed up under my link. And I think that's great. Like I want people to work, but I mean, come on, like if you know that this market isn't busy enough, why hire more people? You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not going to ramble on, y'all. Just keep me lifted in prayer. I need to go shop. I'll holler. Peace.